This video explores how to reconstruct the biblical world using a creator's blueprint from dirt and text to AI-generated cinema. We bridge physical archaeology with advanced digital tools. Our process begins with the material record. Archaeology grounds the narrative in reality. The human element, derived from literary and psychological analysis of texts, transforms historical figures into complex characters. Finally, modern reconstruction uses documentary scripting and AI to synthesize this data into compelling visual stories. The pivotal moment in this reconstruction is the breaking point of 587 BCE, the Babylonian conquest led by Nebuchadnezzar. This event led to the fall of Judah, the exile of Zedekiah, and the destruction of Solomon's temple, marking the end of the united and divided kingdoms. Excavations like the one at Mount Zion in 587 BCE provide crucial ground truth. Findings such as Scythian arrowheads, pinched clay lamps, and discarded gold jewelry all confirm a sudden, ferocious destruction and an annihilation of the city. Reconstructing the material culture, particularly clothing, adds authenticity. Items like the common Keithaneth robe and the more formal Adareth cloak, along with the Chagaur battle belt, allow us to visualize the ancient world accurately. Beyond visuals, we reconstruct the soundscape. Solomon's temple was the physical and spiritual center of Jerusalem. The shofar, a ram's horn, produced distinct waveforms like the Tekiah, Shivarim, and Teruah, each conveying different emotional and spiritual meanings. Artifacts alone cannot tell the full story. The biblical text provides clinical, realistic profiles of men fundamentally altered by the trauma of ancient warfare, revealing the psychological weight carried by figures of power. King Saul's profile illustrates this psychological depth. His biblical symptoms, like the evil/distressing spirit and violent outbursts, align with modern diagnoses such as severe depression, paranoia, and alteration of fundamental personality following trauma. Analyzing character studies, such as the ambition of young David, provides layers of complexity. David is revealed as an opportunist, seeking reward, a remover of threats, and a theologian who frames a political fight as a divine one. Comparing King Saul and David highlights their stark differences. Saul is paralyzed by fear and uncertainty, hiding to avoid his calling. David is action-oriented, verbally confident, and immediately frames threats from a theological perspective. A director's lens is essential for framing historical data. Different documentary styles, from expository and observational to participatory, reflexive, performative, and poetic, allow for varied approaches to visualizing the narrative. The historical script uses a 4-act structure. The hook utilizes a close-up visual of a broken artifact combined with the piercing sound of a shofar. The context uses a wide sweep of the ruins, emphasizing annihilation, not retreat. The narration rule is to keep it concise and emotional. The AI production pipeline integrates technology throughout the process. This involves AI script generation, defining world parameters for cinematic visuals, ensuring character consistency with tools like AutoCast, and applying image-to-video engines for fluid motion and sound. The cycle of historical empathy blends material artifacts, textual analysis, and AI to create photorealistic cinematic reconstructions. The physical evidence grounds the narrative, while psychological analysis builds complex human profiles, driving the generative AI to create compelling visuals. The tools to reconstruct the past have never been more powerful, and the artifacts have never been clearer. We can now unearth the story, write the script, and generate the vision with unprecedented fidelity.